Shalom, shalom. First, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwarash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, great meals on this day that has taught us this truth. I want to give a mighty shalom to all the Akim and Aqua that stay rooted in this faith. Today, I want to go into pretty much either stay diligent or get terminated. And the reason I'm going into this is because I was watching Apostle Tahar, and he was going through 2 Peter's, and it pretty much made me want to make my own lesson on it. So this is where we're at now. So I'm at 2 Peter's. Let me see. 2 Peter's 1 and 10. Sorry, my allergies acting up. I'm starting verse 8. It says, hold on one second. Lucky about that. It says, for if these things be in you and abound, they may make for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fail or fall. Salaki. So what does that mean? It's pretty much saying, the Lord has said, did he not say, many are called, but few are chosen? So you've been called to this truth. The Lord has gave you an unction to want to do better and to get better before this world goes to shit, before he comes back for judgment day. So now what you have to do is you have to go through this purging process, this process of returning back to the Lord, this process of standing on that straight gate, standing on that straight path, staying on the plow, doing what you need to do in order to please the Lord. What's it called? Kiss the Lord, lest he be mad at you, roughly paraphrasing. So this is what you have to do. How do you kiss the Lord? By supping with the Lord, by putting off the old man day to day and building up the new man, feeding the new man with the spiritual bread and putting off the old bread, right? Going out there to the highways and byways, doing what the Lord has asked you to do, but also not just being a hearer of the word, but a doer, right? So that leads me to my next one, which is let me see. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull it up so you guys can see it with me. So this leads me to my next precept, because a lot of people say, well, I believe in the Lord and I know me and the Lord's relationship is good and I'm straight, I'm saved, as some people will say. But this is what's wrong with our nation. A lot of people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. A lot of people want to stay in simplicity instead of turning back to the Lord. They feel as if just going to church on Sundays or praying to the Lord when things get bad, they're fine. No, it doesn't work that way. No matter what you do throughout your whole day, your day should be dedicated to the Lord. It says, for the man that roughly paraphrase. Matter of fact, I'm not going to paraphrase. I'm going to get it. So Matthew 16. Yep, Matthew 16, verse 25. It says, for whoever will save his life shall lose it, and whoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So it's pretty much saying, if you try to hang on to this carnal, worldly life, you're going to lose. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to die. You're going to be a part of that 2/3 going to be cut off. But if you lose your life for the Lord's sake and dedicate your life to him, this go around, right? And go through this purging process, this process of being reborn, you shall find your life. And what is true living? This isn't true living. Working a 9-to-5, slaving, having to answer to somebody else, which you're gonna have to answer to somebody else, which is the Lord. But when I mean answer to somebody else, I mean going to these jobs that treat you like just another person. They're not actually treating you as a asset. You're easily replaceable in this world. But in the kingdom, the Lord shall not forget your righteous acts. The Lord knows every hair on your head. The Lord appreciates you. Right? So let's go back to James 2:17. So this is where we get to this point. It says, verse 17, even so faith, if it has no works, is dead being alone. So pretty much, if you have faith, it's like one and the other. I had made this reference at camp. For those who like to play the game, or those who like to pretty much anything in this world, yin and yang, peanut butter jelly. So like, for example, electronics. You can have your PlayStation and you can play on the remote, but it's not gonna do anything unless you have that electricity to plug it back up and power it. So it's the same with this faith. You can have faith, but do you really have faith if you're not showing your faith by your works? Because for somebody that's actually a believer of this word and really want a true follower of this Lord, they're gonna show their faith by their works. They're gonna make their calling and election sure. They're gonna make the Lord not think twice about why did he give them this unction. Right? So you have to power your faith by your works. You have to generate it. You have to keep it going. It's like a fire, right? A fire in the world, in the forest. If you don't keep chucking wood in it, right, it's gonna go out. So you have to keep fueling your faith. And how does the Lord help fuel your faith? He helps fuel your faith by showing you prophecies, giving certain brothers visions, different things, right? These are just different ways the Lord helps you. Let me go to hold on. Yeah. So this is where I want to get Proverbs 1 and verse 20. I'm gonna start at 20 because this is one way to show your faith. The Lord asks you to do something. Are you gonna sit there and do it, or are you gonna sit there and pretty much tell the Lord, I do it tomorrow? Did not the Lord say, put off not day to day to turn to him? What happened to the man with the talents? The Lord had told the man with the one talent. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. One second, so I'm gonna pull it up because it shows you what's gonna happen to you if you don't flip the Lord's money, right? Keep clicking it on accident. It's Matthew 25, right? We're going to go to 24. It says Matthew 25, verse 24. I'll highlight it for you guys. Then he which had received the one talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou not hast strayed, or strawed. I say strayed. I think that's what it is. Verse 25. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thine that is thine. There has that is thine. Right? So instead of taking the talent the Lord gave him and going to the highways and byways and flipping the Lord's money, this brother said, well, I'm too scared to see what's going to happen, so I'm going to take the talent and just bury it. But did not the Lord say, freely give as you have freely gained? Pretty much, once you get this world, or not this world, once you get this word, share the word. That's the thing. What's it called? How do I put this? If you knew something that nobody else knew, and you loved all these people, would you hide it from them, or would you tell them? Would you not share the good news with them? So putting it off into the dirt, you're hiding this good news. You're stopping somebody else from, Lord willing, obtaining salvation, right? So it says, verse 26 says, Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant. Slothful, because you're not tending to the plow. You're not doing what the Lord has told you to do with that talent. You're doing what you want to do with that talent. right? What is did not the Lord say, you are a candle not hid? Let me see. Candle not hid. Just gonna get this real quick. Salakia. 1 second. It says, Matthew 5:14, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. So this light, you are the light. The Lord gave you this unction to be a beam, a pillar, a way for the other brothers and sisters to find their way back home, right? So if you're hiding your talent underneath the bed, what is it doing? It's not giving the true purpose of what it's supposed to be doing, right? Like, for example, a fisherman who is at sea. When the storms get bad, what do they look for? They look for that lighthouse. That lighthouse guides them to where they need to go. So this is the same thing as in this world. We're guiding our people back to salvation. Okay? It says, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not sowed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. So it says in the NLT, why didn't you deposit my money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it. So pretty much, you didn't gain nothing from this. The Lord didn't gain nothing from this, from giving you this talent. You pretty much wasted his money, right? So what he's gonna do, verse 28, take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. So since you didn't know what to do with this talent, he's gonna give it to a brother that's already knowing what he's doing with 10 talents, and he know that he's gonna flip his money, and then you're gonna get put out the truth. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. Let's go back to Proverbs. Right? Oh man, what the heck? It says verse 20. This is where we was going back to faith without works is dead. So this is how you show your faith by your works, right? It says verse 20. Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief places of concourse, in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying. So, wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the streets. What does this mean? This is where the Lord has pretty much sent his prophets to be fishers of men. He sent them to the highways and byways, the chief places of concourse, to preach this word, where it's busy, where there's a lot of traffic, where everybody can hear this. So in that day, you have no excuse to why you didn't hearken to what the Lord told you to do. He gave you the warning. He gave you the unction multiple times. He reached his arm out. And not only are you doing helping them, but you're also helping yourself, right? Because it says in the book of Ezekiel 3 and verse 17, right? It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me, a watchman. So pretty much you're like a shepherd. You're watching over them, and you're also giving them your spiritual weatherman. Anytime the Lord says something, he sends it to you. You decode it and you give it to the people. So if you're not doing your job, how can they truly know what's going on? So you have to do your job and make sure that your works is helping not just you, but your people also. Right? And it says, let's go down to verse 18. When I say unto thee, wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So since you didn't help your brother and warn him, his blood is on your hand now. All right? Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wicked ways, nor from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So you are delivering your own soul in the process of warning the people. Because you're doing what the Lord asked you to do. You're going to the highways and byways. You're being a beacon, a light. You're being that voice that cried in the streets. Not really you're the voice, but you're the translator for the truth. The word is gonna do it all. You just have to go out there and preach it. Right? Let's get back to Proverbs. Oh, I'm gonna get this last one. Last part 22. How long will you simple ones love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorner, and fools hate knowledge? So you're going out here to warn them for their wicked ways. You're trying to wake these people up. But at the end of the day, we're really out here for the elect. Remember that. We're always out here for the elect. So if you're meant to get this, you're going to get this. If you're not meant to get this, you're not going to get it. Right? The Lord had already set up his remnant, his 144, his elect. Everybody that is already where they're supposed to be has been picked from the beginning of times. It's already finished. We just have to let it play out. So we're playing out our role. We've been doing this since the beginning of times. Each life, we've come back into our same lot. Right? But you don't know who you are. So this is why you have to examine yourself daily and be diligent in this truth and make sure your calling and election is sure. Because you don't know who we are. We could be anybody. So let me get my next precept I had lined up. Wait, what is it? Slovakia. We gotta go for verse 21. James 1 and 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul. Engrafted. What does that mean? I mean, it's already in you. You just have to pull it out. You have to pull it out. You have to re-educate yourself. You have to go back and get this knowledge over and over again. Right? That's what it says. In NLT 21. So get rid of all the filth and evil in your lives, and humbly accept the word of Yahweh has planted in your hearts, for it has the power to save your soul. What is the heart? It's your mind. It was already there. You just have to unlock it again. Verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. It's a lot of people out here who hear the word and they be like, okay, it sounds good. I like what's going on. But do they try to filter their life through the word before they do their actions? Do they think about the Lord and what would the Lord do? Now, yes, we are in these chains of sin, these bodies where you're going to naturally go off. But the righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up, and he's trying. Are you trying? That's why it says examine thyself daily, whether you be in the faith or not. Because a lot of people just go through the motions. It's been times I went through the motions. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to get better at truly my faith, my works, because I want to be saved. I know I'm sick. And that's the first step. It's just like when you go to rehab. You have to admit that you have a problem. You have to admit that you've been going off. So now the Lord can help you. He can make his abode with you and tell you how to fix your ways. And how does he make his abode with you? How do you fix your ways? Through this truth, this living word. The only thing that's able to save your soul. So this is why you have to be doers of the word, not just hearers only. Because if you're just hearing this, like it says, you're deceiving your own soul. That's like in Matthew 7 where it says, Matthew 7 and 21. It says, not every man that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So that right there, it says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth, that's the key word, doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So unless you're doing what the will of the Lord, you're not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven the first go around, right? Because You're doing the will of the Lord, meaning that what did you do? You gave up your life for the Lord. You dedicated your life to the Lord. So now you're earning your life. You're building up that spiritual bank account, right? It says 22, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and thy name have cast out devils, and thy name have done many works? So there's going to be people that in that day is like really confused, like, Lord, I was out there. I was preaching the word. I said precepts. I stood tall for you. And then verse 23. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So pretty much, you might have been an Israelite on camp days, but rest of the week, you were heathen. You weren't calling to the Lord. You weren't doing the will of the Lord. You weren't staying rooted in this faith, tended to the plow, right? You were feeding the lust of the body. You were being lukewarm. So the Lord's gonna say, I don't know you. Get away from me. So in that day, then you're gonna have forever shame. Like, damn. This whole time I think I was safe, but I was never safe. This whole time I thought I was covered, but no. Now you have to die like the 2/3, right? You have to come back the next lifetime. You know what? I'm gonna read it all the way down because it's low-key beautiful. Verse 24. Therefore, whoever heareth these things saying of mine and doeth them, I would liken him unto a wise man which buildeth his house upon a rock. What is that rock? That rock is considered stability. That rock is considered your foundation. That rock is the Lord, Yahweh Shai, right? That is what's gonna make sure that in that day you stand tall. That day that you're safe from that final test. 25, it says, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it foundeth upon a rock. What does it say? Roughly paraphrase, for those who fear the Lord shall be kept away from evil. You have to realize, when you fear the Lord, and the Lord is on your side, nothing can stop you. You're set up. You have that covering. You have that blood upon your doorpost, right? It says, verse 26, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which buildeth his house upon sand. So what happens when sand gets hit with water? It's unstable. It moves back and forth with the water, right? You're gonna get washed away. Any little thing is gonna get you out of here. It says 27, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So you have to examine yourself daily. Make sure your calling with election is sure, brothers and sisters. Might seem like I'm just talking to you, but I'm also talking to myself in the process. Going through these scriptures, you have to realize it's a double-edged sword. If you ain't willing it the correct way, you can cut yourself. Right? You feel me? Okay, let me see. Yep. See, I already got it. I already knew where I was going. I'm gonna go to Habakkuk. Because this is our job. This goes with that Ezekiel when I said that we are watchmen giving warning, right? Where are you getting this warning from? The Lord. It says Habakkuk 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me up. I will stand upon my watch and set me up upon the tower and watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So you have to stay diligent. You have to continue to watch these prophecies unfold. You have to wait for the next thing to happen. So when things happen, you have to filter it through the truth. This is how you're on your watch. So when that time comes, you're not going to get caught by surprise. I got one for you. Salakia. It says Matthew 24 and verse 42. Watch therefore, ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. Right? 1 second. Salakia. Look, under the weather allergies. It says, watch therefore, you know not what hour your Lord doeth come. But note this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and he would not have suffered his house to be broken upon. So if somebody warned you, be like, hey, dude down the street said he's spinning your block tonight, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna sit there, let's call it a night, go to sleep. No, you're gonna stay up and wait. Stand upon your watch. So when they try to break into your house, you're gonna be ready. Same thing. The Lord is giving you breadcrumbs, clues to know when he's coming back. Now, nobody knows the exact day or time when he's coming back, but through prophecy, you're able to get a more of like a better understanding of when he's coming back. So it's like when that last prophecy, you're gonna be like, whoa, bet the Lord on his way at any day now. You're not gonna sit there in the clue like it's just another day, like the 2/3 of the heathens, right? That's why it says, verse 44, therefore be also ready, for in such an hour as you think not the Son of Man cometh. So you got to be ready at all times. You got to be ready to drop all things in. Get straight to it, right? But I'm going to continue to go down because it gives you a balance. This is talking to those of you who feel like you're prophets, teachers, feel like you're really involved in this truth, right? In the ministry. It says, 45, who then is a faithful and wise servant whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season, right? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord when he cometh shall find so doing. Key word again, doing. So the Lord wants to come back and see that you're tending to the plow. He wants to see that you're staying rooted to what he told you to do. He want to make sure that when he comes back, he sees his reflection in you, right? And the only way you can do that is by purging yourself daily, day to day, and staying upon the plow. It says verse 47, verily I say unto you, then he shall make him ruler over all his goods. So for you stand dedicated in his faith and built up that spiritual bank account, the Lord shall make you a pillar in his kingdom. What is that pillar? That's the foundation. You're going to be a part of that government, the rulership, the one that's going to help guide the incoming Israelites, right? It says, verse 48 though, but if that evil servant shall say in my heart, my Lord doth lay of his coming, which you should never say that, because in 2 Peter 3 and verse 10, the Lord says, though it tarry, wait for it, right? Because it shall surely come. Rough paraphrase, I'm going to get it after this, but it shall surely come. No, don't ever think that the Lord's taking too long, because it's in his time. It's not our time. It's in his time. Everything happens for a reason. You have to take this time that the Lord is giving you, like, oh, the Lord's taking too long. Maybe you're not ready. What is the day of the Lord for you? You might think that you're ready, but then the day of the Lord, you're not ready at all. You're nowhere near where you should be. So the Lord is giving you this grace period to get where you need to be, right? He's helping you. This is really a blessing. So take this blessing and truly cherish it and work with it. It says, verse 49, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunken. So you're going to be going back. It's like a dog returning to his vomit. You're going to start falling out that truth, my boy. Okay, it says verse 50. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and an hour that he is not aware of. So since you became drunken back with this philosophies of the world, you're going to get lost. You're not going to know when the Lord is coming no more, because you're going to be too busy living up with the 2/3, right? So it says, verse 51, and he shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's self-explanatory. You're not gonna be on that first go around. You're gonna be with the 2/3, and you're gonna have to pay the price. You're gonna have to sacrifice yourself. So it's two types of sacrifice. You have the sacrifice of the spirit, and then you have to have the sacrifice of the flesh. So right now, the brothers are going through this sacrifice of this purging. But when that time comes, you're going to be kept from that hour of temptation. But for those that didn't do what they were supposed to do, you're going to get put on this altar, America, Babylon. You're going to die. That fire, you're going to be a sacrifice. And that's how you're going to earn your way into the kingdom, right? So I'm gonna get two more. I'm gonna get 2 Peter 3:10, and I gotta get Matthew 24. All right. So it's verse 9 actually. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So like I was saying, he's not being slack. He's actually giving this is his way of showing mercy. He's giving you this grace period. Because if he was really to come back today, a lot of people wouldn't make it, my boy. Truly, I don't know if I would make it. I'm nowhere near where I should be. And I don't feel like we're ever going to be where we should be until we get those new bodies, but we're trying. You have to try. You have to try. Give a effort. The Lord is looking for an effort. Once you give an effort, he's going to give an effort into you. Okay? Verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and all the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So what is that great noise? These are the ICBM missiles that are going to be shooting across the world. The Lord said it's like a great archer, and he shall not miss his target. Why won't he miss his target? Because the Lord is going to be guiding those missiles, and it shall hit its mark. Truly, it shall hit its mark. Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So you need to be staying in that 1/3 mindset. Put on the armor of the leg, be strong in his might. Right? You have to do this. There is no time, especially now. As you see how things are ramping up, this is the time that we need to ramp up with our faith. We need to go harder in this truth. It's fourth quarter. We finna be going into overtime. Right? It says verse 12. Looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The heavens, if I'm correct, the heavens is talking about this world. This is their heaven. It shall be dissolved. It shall melt with fervent heat. And then what's going to come next? The kingdom of Jacob. 13, nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens. See, new heavens and a new earth, wherein delighteth righteousness. This isn't righteousness where we're living right now. This is wickedness. It says, woe to you that has switched good for evil and evil for good, sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet. Everything is backwards in this world. This isn't how we should be living. Right? Verse 14, it says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him with peace, without spot and blameless. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. But the Lord said if you do what you need to do, it shall be as white as snow. That fresh pure snow is like cocaine white. It's beautiful. It's shiny. Right? So now I'm going to go back to that Matthew 24. Was that Matthew 24 and 13? Yeah. Okay. And this is the main thing right here. Let me highlight it. Matthew 24 and 13. But he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. It's not going to be, oh, you were here the first quarter, but the last 3 quarters you weren't there. Oh, you was here, but at halftime you got injured. No, you have to go through the whole process. Let me get the race for you. Let me see. Slock, y'all. Oh. Snap, Slovakia. It's pretty much I'm trying to find it. I can't put the words together, but it says this isn't a race for the fast nor the strong, but it's a race of endurance. Oh. Yep, got it. Slack, yeah, got it. The lot of how about Yasha. I really had a brain fart right there. But I got it now. Thank you. The water how about Yasha. Says 1 Corinthians 9:24. Know you not that which run in a race run all, but when Rome receiveth the prize, so run that you may obtain. So you have to finish the whole race, my boy. You can't just say, I give up. Because if you give up, you're through. That's why the Lord said you have to count the cost before you do this, before you join this thing. But really, it's like once he gave you this unction, even though you have to count the cost, it's really no choice. Because once you know, you can't take back knowing. So, like I said, that's the main thing. Verse 24, Matthew 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So, stay diligent in this thing. Stay rooted. The time will come. Truly, the time will come. But till then, we have to build ourselves up because wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. The Lord willing, this was edifying, and with that, I want to give all praise and glory honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikakwadash. I want to give double honor to the Apostle Great Millstone again, who has taught us is true. And with that, a ball. Chemotherapy 2023, man.